Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the first episode of Adventures with
Adventures with
Alice and
Alice and
Neen.
Neen.
Podcast edition.
Yes. This is the podcast where two college students talk about the big stuff, like love and the meaning of life. Whoa.
And food.
And food, yes. Absolutely.
Whoa. This is cool and exciting.
Let's introduce ourselves.
Okay. You can go first.
Oh, I'm going first. Okay. Well, I'm Alice. Well, we're both juniors at UC Berkeley.
What's up?
Yes, I study data science with a domain emphasis in human behavior and psychology because I love studying people, I guess. I am also a theater minor in which I focus on acting.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm Noreen. I am studying English and I am minoring in education. So I like reading and literature and analyzing literature and also people because that's important too. And the connection between the both of them is something that I'm really, really passionate about. Yeah. So I guess we'll get into a small, would you rather mini game.
Oh, you want to do that first? Sure.
Yeah, we can do that first. And then go into...
yeah, let's do it. Let's do a would you rather. And then we will go into our main topic for today, which is questions that we've prepared for each other as they get to know you. All right. Do you have questions prepared? Do you want me to go first? Do you want to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. I have 5 would you rathers.
Okay.
So the first one, would you rather find Atlantis or El Dorado?
Atlantis.
Yeah, I think Atlantis is pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
I don't really know much about El Dorado. Gold.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'd rather find Atlantis. Okay. Oh, you want to go back and forth? You can go next.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, so would you rather learn how to kayak or learn how to snowboard, assuming that you have not learned any of those two things?
I would like to learn to snowboard because I love skiing.
Ooh,
maybe
nice.
I would like kayaking too, and I just don't know anything about it.
Fair.
One of my favorite things about being on a ski trip is that when you get to the top of the mountain, it's one of the quietest places that you'll ever be at, just because especially if you're there up alone, you just it's just so quiet there. It's so different from day-to-day life where it's hard to find complete silence, because even when you're at home, you have the sound of your fridge running and the air conditioning or whatever. When you're up on the mountain, unless there's movement and the sound of snow is quiet. And it's lovely up there.
Oh. Not gonna lie, I think I'd go for the kayaking. Because water's cool and I don't necessarily have to worry about falling in a way. Because I mean, with snowboarding, you go down a mountain, right? And with kayaking, you're on water. So it's less of a balancing act of your 2 feet. And I am not I would say that I'm pretty clumsy. So that wouldn't be fun if I were snowboarding. I'd fall on my face every other time.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
Would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak multiple foreign languages?
The second one.
Really?
I mean, because I do. But because I speak, I guess, 4 languages technically. So it's been super cool to do that. And so I'd like to just continue brushing up on that. But animals are cool. But then dogs, right? I really wouldn't want a dog.
You wouldn't want to be able to talk to doggos?
But what if doggos don't like me? then that's just sad.
Oh, that would be pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But they can show you that they don't like you even if you don't speak their language. Like if they like
Yeah.
bark at you.
Yeah, I guess. But then that it's different from like showing you and then like actually saying it to your face, like I don't like
Like I
you.
hate
That'd
you.
be kind of
Oh
sad.
no.
That'd be
That'd
kind
be
of sad.
traumatizing.
I know.
If your like dog was like I hate you. I guess like children do that.
Hmm.
Like, you can have kids and then they'll be like, I hate you, mom.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a famous actor or a famous singer? This is pretty relevant, I feel like.
Why would you do this to me, Noreen? No,
Hey,
I would probably
it's a good get to know Alice. Would you rather question?
right. I would probably go actor.
Okay.
I feel like singer, well, if you're like I'm mostly in regards with singing, I'm interested in like classical singing.
Hmm.
I feel like when I think famous singer, I think like pop singer. So
I see, I see. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I appreciate it all just because of how like you get like people like invested. Like with regards to acting, it's like you get people invested in the story and then they reflect on like their own lives and their own like feelings.
Mm.
And then with singing, I don't know, it's like more of a direct like emotional quality because that's just like what music does.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, I care less about the fame. I care more about like the projects themselves. Like what is it that I'm working on?
Mm.
And I enjoy doing both. So, yeah. Okay. Next question. Would you rather be loved by everyone's pets or be loved by everyone's kids?
Ooh. Wait, but I love kids and pets.
Yeah.
I love little
Well, you did
kids.
this to me with your last question, so.
Shoot. Okay. Not gonna lie, I think the first instinct, like gut, like answer for this one would be pets.
Pets.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares about humans?
No, but like I think that if the kid, theoretically, if the kid has been around this certain pet for quite a while and the pet is very comfortable with me, then there would slowly be a connection with the kid. That is my thought process. I don't know
Really?
how valid. I don't know
I
how
don't
valid that
know.
is. I don't know how valid that is, but honestly, I'm assuming the pet is a dog, and if not a cat, anything else, I'd probably go with a kid first. But I'm thinking dogs and cats at this point, and so I
Okay.
think I, I
Well,
think I
yeah,
would go with the pets.
I wasn't thinking of like turtles.
Oh,
But yeah, I would go kids, I think.
okay. Why kids?
Just because I don't know. I feel like I don't take things personally when pets don't like me.
Um,
And also like I don't expect cats to like me because they're just very like I don't expect them to hate me, but like I don't expect them to like me either. Whereas kids, I
mm,
don't know. I have a hard time knowing what to say to kids and stuff, and it would be nice to be able to like connect with them. But I also know like when it comes to connecting with kids, it's really more about like being genuinely interested in like them.
yeah,
I don't
which
know. I
makes
think that's
yeah,
just I maybe it's less that like maybe it's less about being loved by them and more about like connecting with them. I don't know.
that makes sense. Because for me, I'm pretty good with kids. I'm so awkward around adults and people who aren't like 5 and talking about like their favorite color being purple and then all of a sudden changing the topic in like 2 seconds about how they really like what they had for lunch that day. Um,
Uh-huh.
like interviews are horrible and I can't, they're all awkward. Socializing with people who are like my age is the most awkward thing possible unless they like aren't awkward and I'm not awkward. But like with kids, I can do like if I'm talking to them, I don't need to talk that much. I just need to like sprinkle in a little bit of like a, I don't know, like what did you have for lunch today? And they will answer the question and then carry on the conversation by switching the conversation topic completely. And I don't need to do that much talking. I
Oh,
can just watch them interact. And it's like, okay, I could do that.
interesting.
Yeah.
See, I used to volunteer every summer at a like Chinese summer camp.
Yeah.
and I had like the hardest time when I was put in like the kindergarten class. I think it's just like for me, I don't know how I would ever start the conversation with kids.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I'd be so focused on like helping out with the class or whatever. I don't know. Also, I have a friend who tells me that I'm pretty good with adults, which kind of surprised me because like I hadn't thought about it actively, but then I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, I guess I do like talking to like older people, but I don't know. I think it just depends on the person. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think young kids are just like as kids get older, like by the time you reach like third, fourth grade, like I can talk to you, I can hold a conversation with you, but if you're younger than that,
Yeah.
but there is this, okay, I was looking at this Instagram yesterday that just posts quotes of kids and they're the most like wholesome and like it's lovely.
Oh.
I can like pull it up and read some real quick. Live from Snack Time. When I grow up, I want to be a banana tree with legs and marry a boy in a hot dog suit. I like to kiss. Kate, 3 years old.
Wait, that's such a mood though.
Yeah.
That's so funny, but that's like really a mood. I feel that.
Please, shh. I need to focus on my pasta. Evelyn, 3 years old.
Why is that me attempting to make pasta in our apartment?
Oh my god.
Shh, I need to focus on my pasta.
If you're panicking and feel like you're dying, take deep breaths. If you're actually dying, it won't work. Anonymous, 10 years old. Yeah, anyway, I was just like spending a lot of time reading through this and I was like, aw, kids.
We love kids.
They have such a different outlook on life. They have so much energy and I like need
Yeah,
that energy.
same, honestly. Okay, my turn.
Okay, your turn.
Ooh, okay. Would you rather lose your ability to hear sound or lose your ability to taste food?
It hurts, Noreen. Why did you choose you chose all the ones that are like, see, when I was looking at questions, I was thinking like, what would you rather like gain or like, you know, what new ability would you gain? And
my
like,
last
what would you rather
question was
lose?
learn how to kayak
Oh yeah,
or
you're
learn
right.
how to snowboard.
You're right. No, it's just this one question. Actually, my next question is pretty like negative too. But but before that, do I care more about food or music? That's the question.
Real question.
Well, see, if I lose my hearing, can I still like feel vibrations? Because like you know you can
like you don't have the
you know you can like enjoy music through the
like
vibrations.
you don't lose your ability to
I think I would go with
feel things like you to touch, I guess.
Yeah, I think I would go with losing my hearing, which is so sad. but yeah, I don't know. Food I feel like it's just you eat every day. Well, okay. You listen every day too. It's not like I don't listen every day, but I feel like food is just like good. Sorry, I have no more words.
You're good.
I was thinking like a human necessity, but like I don't know if that's all there is to it. Okay, whatever. I'm not thinking too hard about this. This hurts my brain. What about you?
I think I'd go sound too. Obviously the ideal is that I wouldn't lose any of these abilities, but if I had to lose one of them in this scenario, I'd probably go with the hearing because the experience of food and the taste of it is like literally beyond me. As someone like you know, like I'm such a foodie and I love going out into like trying new foods and like new places, and so it's like, but then at the same time, if I lost my ability to hear, that means I wouldn't be able to like listen to music and I wouldn't be able to like explore the world in a very different way, you know, like in conversation with people or music or yeah.
Oh yeah,
you'd have a hard time talking to people. And so that's
oh my god, I didn't think about that for some reason.
So I mean that's something that I'd be giving up over like taste of food, but then yeah, it's very complicated. When I was looking at this, I really didn't honestly know how to answer too, because then you'd either be sacrificing like your food palate.
Wait, but that really changes things because like for me, conversations are so important.
Because then That's why I was like having a hard time with this one when I saw it. Yeah.
This is a hard one.
I would love to continue to still like be able to talk to people and still be able to hold conversations and listen to music and like let that like move you in a way, whether that's conversation or music, right? And that's obviously not just the two, it's just the only two things that are coming up in my head. But
I think I've changed my answer. Because I think you can still eat and like I don't know, it's not as fun, obviously you can't taste it, but
I think I'm changing my answer too.
I don't know, it's just like I just can't imagine not being able to talk to people.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. Okay, next one to add to the depressing theme. Would you rather have no one show up to your wedding or to your funeral?
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Okay. I think I'd rather have no one show up to my wedding. Yeah. I think I'd have no one show up at my wedding and have people show up at my funeral.
Okay.
Because for me, I'm thinking of like marriage as a like, yes, a big milestone in life, but a funeral is like the end of a life. And so I'd much rather have, not that I would know this if I were dead, but I would much rather have people like all these people from like all different like walks of life to like come and like, I don't know.
Celebrate your life.
Celebrate my life. Yeah, exactly. Like I think
I
think that for me would be more meaningful than like a public declaration of me committing to somebody for the rest of my life. Because then what if I die? And then nobody comes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in a way I'd be able to see everybody that I like bumped into or like, you know, spent a lot of time with at like my funeral. Again, given that I would have the ability to know this, but yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I can't imagine at this point in my life what my wedding would be like. So
same.
It's strange, like, yeah. I don't know. I think I would go the same. And this one would be hard because like I feel like it would make me really sad if like I, you know, like invited people to my wedding and nobody showed up.
Yeah.
I feel like I guess that would upset me, but then it would also like be like, what is the point if you go through your whole life and you never like impact someone enough that they would like show up to your funeral?
Exactly, yeah.
So
that makes sense.
So I guess then it turns into a question of like, would you rather have people show up for you like in the middle of your life when you're getting married or at the end of your life? And I guess I would go to the end because at least if nobody shows up to my wedding, I still have my spouse.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Someone, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would go funeral.
Okay. I think my question also is like on a dark end, but like not death dark.
Okay.
Would you rather always be able to know when someone is lying to you or never know?
Like never know as in like
you would never know it, like if somebody were
like
lying to you.
It's not just like currently, which is like sometimes you have like you can tell.
Yeah.
But like you don't know for sure, but like actually just like you straight up would never know.
You straight up would never know.
Versus always knowing?
Always being able to know.
I think I would prefer always being able to know. Because like even if somebody's lying to you, it's not necessarily like, for one thing, people might not necessarily know that they're lying to themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's not necessarily like ill-intentioned. But then also like lying is not always ill-intentioned, period. Which gets complicated because it is ill-intentioned like a good portion of the time. But yeah. No, because I think it would open up opportunities to ask like why are they lying? And that's often more interesting than the fact that they lied to you at all.
Oh, it's interesting. Because for me, when I was looking at this question, I was thinking, man, if I always was able to know when somebody's lying, surprises would never exist in my world.
Oh, I hadn't thought
of like surprise parties or like, oh, let's say like someone's gonna like, I don't know, propose to me, or oh, I don't know, someone is, you know, we're like throwing a surprise party for someone.
I guess, but would anyone lie to you about proposing to you?
No, as in like leading up to it. Like, oh, hey, do you want to go to like this because, oh, I've got something.
Yeah, but they're not lying to you.
They technically are, because they are hiding something.
Well, it depends on how they're doing it. I guess, yeah, okay, do lies by omission count?
I don't know. I didn't think that far into it when I found this question. I just thought it was really interesting.
But like that's also like, but then I guess, do you count that as a lie? Because like if you omit something, I don't know, part of it could just be like forgetting to mention something. So it's not really a lie, I guess.
But if you know,
lie is like definitely.
But then the idea is that somebody is going to propose to you theoretically. So that person would tell you, hey, like, do you want to go to the store with me? I've got to pick up some things. Just to distract you while they're doing something else. But if you knew that they were lying, then like.
See, does your significant other know that you know when everyone is lying? Because then they would just never lie to you.
I don't know. This question doesn't go further than just what the question is asking.
Did your significant other invite people to the wedding?
Shoot.
Or are they lying? No, I'm kidding.
Rough territories.
Okay. We're gonna move on.
Okay,
this last question, I actually feel like I know what you would say.
Okay.
But would you rather be fluent in all languages or be able to play any musical instrument?
The first one.
Yeah, I figure you would say that. I think I would go the first one too.
Yeah, because that's cool. Being able to communicate different languages, because it's cool. That'd be so easy for my Linguistics 100 class. Oh my gosh. I struggled in that class. But in all seriousness, I think that'd be super cool. And just being able to like travel anywhere, or not even like travel like country-wise, but like even in like within the country in general, like just being able to communicate in different languages and with different people, like that'd be super cool to do that.
Yeah, I think it would be cool culturally, and be able to like it would let you be able to appreciate art from other cultures a lot easier. And like I think the biggest gain from having all these languages is like being able to understand different cultural contexts. Because I don't know if you like read the same reading that we did in linguistics, but we had to do this reading that was talking about how oftentimes like people are like, oh, there's no translation for this like word that's in this other language. But for the most part, like you can translate words pretty well. You can just explain them in a couple of words, even if there's not a single word translation. But the information that doesn't necessarily get carried across is like the cultural context.
Right.
So I think that would be cool because you understand people better. And we sure love people.
Aha! If you missed that, we love people. My last question is more of a generic would you rather question. Very lighthearted, but very generic. Would you rather spend a day at the beach or spend a day in the forest?
Ooh, a day like 24 hours?
Yeah.
Ooh, because I was like, ooh, I'd love to like go to the forest and be able like be somewhere out like removed enough from in nature that I could like look at the stars at night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's sick.
But like you could do that, I don't know, it depends on where you are at the beach, but I feel like you could do that at the beach too, and you could have like a bonfire and like well, you could do that at the forest too. Okay.
You get the sound of crashing waves onto the shore.
I think I still lean
the
forest. I don't know why. I think like because I just think like green and it's like very comforting. Like a forest green. And also like the smells.
Yeah. Oh, the smells. But also the smell at the beach too. The beach is a very
the beach it's just different. It's just very different. I think the beach can be very well, I don't know. The beach can also like stink. Because like ocean water, I don't know. Sometimes I go to the beach and I'm just like, it smells like sewage.
Yeah, but then the forest can also, I don't know, dirt. So like if it's moist, then there's mud.
Earthy. I don't know.
And there's bugs.
I would prefer the forest.
Cool.
The
more you know.
Yeah, I think that's the end of our Would You Rather.
Yay!
Okay, our next segment is called Can We Test If Noreen is Actually Shazam? Because for context, whenever Noreen hears like 0.2 seconds of the beginning of a song, sometimes she can just immediately guess what the song is. And then she will always be like, See, I am actually Shazam.
I am Shazam. Whoa.
But we're gonna put this to the test today.
Oh gosh, I'm scared. What if I fail at this? This isn't good. This isn't gonna be good for me if I like don't pass this.
Well, this is what I prepared for you though. Like I took all these songs that are like really popular songs. So you should know all of them. And not only know all of them, but you should know them pretty well.
Oh shoot. Okay.
But what I'm gonna do is not sing just like the song because I think that'd make it too easy because it's like these are popular songs.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna do is like, first of all, I don't have these songs like memorized, but I'm gonna try to sing the background notes and see if you can tell what the song is based off the background notes. And I have to play them, so hopefully you don't hear it through my headphones, but
okay.
Here we go. I'm gonna start really easy, so.
Okay.
Dun,
Oh,
dun, 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 dun.
Oh, this is Shawn Mendes.
Dun, dun. Yeah.
This is Treat You Better.
Yeah,
Shawn Mendes.
But obviously, okay, well, you love Shawn Mendes, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like.
So I would be surprised if you didn't get that.
Yeah, I'd be surprised too. But that's such an iconic beginning, though.
Exactly.
Oh,
okay.
Shawn's cool.
We're gonna move harder.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, actually, this isn't much harder, but hold on. Dun 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 dun. Dun. Wait, hold on. I'm so bad at singing this. Let me try again. Dun 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 dun. That was a little bit of a struggle for you. It's so strange because when I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh, this is so obvious. But also I have no idea what I sound like. And I'm sure I am not like doing the song justice.
Oh, yes. Okay. I got it. It's Michael Bublé. Yes. It's the, I know we can be so da, da, da.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Okay, I got it.
You don't know what it's called?
Oh, I just the haven't met you yet.
Yes.
Right? They just haven't met you yet.
Yeah. Okay. God, this is really testing my note matching abilities. Oh, for context, Noreen and I are both in the university chorus at UC Berkeley.
I mean, was before.
But both of us are. This was our first semester. I know. Yeah, it got canceled because of the coronavirus. But both of us like struggle in it together because like it's, I don't know, it's definitely out of my comfort zone.
Oh, yeah, no, I auditioned as a moral support audition and then found myself in it and then was just thrown into the world of Beethoven and Shakespearean sonnets sung chorally. And it was weird at first and then everything got canceled and then it was just very bittersweet. And so it was just like, yes, we did very much struggle in it.
Bittersweet? I think it was just sad. There's no sweetness to it. It's just sad.
Wasn't like relishing in the times we still had.
Yeah, I do miss it.
That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Both of us are both like looking at our scores, and we're just like, this can't stop us because I can't read.
It's literally that whole meme. Like, this can't stop us. Okay.
Dun 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 dun. That's probably a little hard.
Can you play the audio, like the beginning parts of that audio?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would get it immediately.
Is that Sia?
No.
Shoot.
Yeah, it's hard. I thought you would have known the song because I played a lot.
Because then when I was thinking was that song, the baby I don't need dollars to have fun tonight. I love cheap thrills.
I don't listen to Sia.
Oh, Okay, I thought that was that song because the beginning sounded very familiar. Okay. Can you give me a hint?
Okay, I'll play more. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you want a hint? Lauv.
Oh, I know Lao songs, but like, what the heck is this song? Drugs on the Internet?
No.
Shoot. No, it's not that song. Wait. For some reason, I thought. Wait, the I like me better when I'm with you, but that's not it.
No.
It's not it.
No.
What is it? Oh my gosh.
Fuck. I'm lonely.
Oh.
I'm lonely.
Okay, well I will say that before the hint, I would have gotten who it was when the voice came in, because it's definitely loud.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out what the song was. Sad. I have no longer Shazam.
Okay, that one was a hard one. I don't know if you'll get this next one, because I think you could get it if I gave you more clues, but with just the background notes, I don't know if it'll be so easy for you. But we'll try it.
Sounds classy.
Okay, I'll sing some lyrics.
Okay.
Hold on, I don't know what the lyrics are, so I have to practice. Driving down the interstate.
Oh. Okay. Wait. This is Jeremy Zucker.
Yes.
Yes. Wait, it's Jeremy Zucker. Oh no. What's it called? Oh no. That new song. It's called Always I'll Care.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Oh my god.
Got
Okay,
it,
see,
got
that's
it,
pretty
got it.
impressive.
Okay.
I just
Got
gave
it.
you like the first 3 words.
4 words.
Okay. And one last song.
Okay.
I think you know this song. I hope you know this song.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun. Sorry, I'm so off key. It's so hard to hear the background notes, and I don't have these memorized.
Wait, so are there lyrics to this song?
Yeah, but the name of the song is within the first 4 words.
Okay, can you sing?
I'll give you the melody.
Or you can sing part of the song that doesn't have the title.
I'll just give you the melody.
Okay. Oh, it's the I'm a new song.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't remember who it's by, but it's called New Song, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce this artist's name. Yale Nime?
It's like very bouncy. Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, New Soul. Yay! You did it! How many did you get?
I got like 4, I think.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yay, I did it. I almost did it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our main segment for today, which is that we've written down 5 questions for each other as like a get to know you, and we have not told each other what these questions are. So so yeah, either I guess this could be something to be nervous about, but not really.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Why don't you go first this time?
Okay, so let's just start very light. If you had a reality TV show about your life, what would your theme song be, and why?
I've never thought about having a reality show about my life. Oh, although I guess my life can be pretty dramatic sometimes, so it would be quite the
show.
Yeah, no, actually, I've tried to vlog before, and it has been pretty boring. So maybe it would be boring. I don't know. What would my theme song be? I don't know, because if you had asked me what kind of like what I would choose to be my theme song for, like just in general, like, hey Alice, what's your theme song? Like, I think that would give a very different answer than this like, what is your theme song for a reality show?
What is your general theme song, may I ask?
I don't know if I have a single theme song, but I would definitely choose something that is like, I have a playlist that is on, or it used to be on my Tumblr. Now it's just on my YouTube, just like a random playlist. But they're all very like relaxing songs. I would say that's what I tend to listen to in general.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Coffee Shop by BAP.
Mm.
That's kind of like my vibe. But that's not like a reality show. Like, I feel like if you're
if
gonna
your
do a
life was a
reality show, it needs to be
show.
like Lizzo or something.
Lizzo.
Yeah.
So would your theme song be, like, if your life were a reality TV show, your theme song would be something from Lizzo?
I don't know. I don't really listen to Lizzo except for like two of her songs. So, actually, let me look at what my Spotify. Oh, okay. Actually, so there's a song called Rewind by Louis Vuitton.
I don't think I've heard of that song.
It is not like a super popular song. It just auto-played when I was listening to something on Spotify. But it feels like, I don't know what the words would be. Like it would be like cheerful, but like it's like cheerful but like in a nostalgia way, but not in a sad way. Like, I don't know. Okay, my first question. What is a place you have a very vivid memory of and why? And then like describe it.
A place that I have a very vivid memory of?
Like a physical location. Like just as an example, like the place I would choose is like my 8th grade engineering classroom, which doesn't exist anymore because my 8th grade engineering teacher isn't teaching there anymore. But like I very vividly remember everything that was in that room.
I think a place that I remember very vividly would be my aunt's old house before she moved to her current house. It was like a 1-story house, like located in like a cul-de-sac. And I remember going in and it was like double glass, not glass, but like it was the entrance had like 2 blue doors with like a glass crystal-like thing on like the 2 fronts of the panes. And when you open the door, you'd be like, I guess, greeted with like black and white tiles on the floor, but like big tiles that looked like a big giant checkerboard across the house. On the right, you'd have like a little like room, and then like on the left, you'd have like a little bit of like a room with like bookshelves. It was like a bunch of like books and CDs and albums and like a massage chair. I remember this. And then on the right, you'd have this like little play area, kind of like a part 2 of the living room, where there's also like small couches and there was like a carpet area. And I remember like that would be where like the Christmas tree would go up. And then you walk in and then there's like this kitchen, then the dining table in front, and then like the main living area space, where like the couch was and the TV was. And then I remember the backyard. It was like not a small backyard. It was pretty big, but like not big enough to be like you could fit a pool, but it was big enough where you could have like this garden area. And I just remember like vividly playing around in the house. And like I was actually really sad when they moved from that house, because like we obviously, like as a kid, like for me, like we made a lot of memories there, and like I still have like old photo albums of myself and my sister like in that house. And so it was really sad when they moved out of that house. Next question. So I guess this is, I need a little bit of to explain a little bit of context for this question. So sometimes Alice and I are housemates, and we live in the same apartment. We have been for the past 2 years in Berkeley. And the question pertains to the title I sometimes give to Alice whenever she's cooking sometimes, where it's very much Master Chef Alice, haha. Because she tends to cook a lot in the apartment, and some of the things she makes, or arguably all of the things she makes, is like super, super good. But Alice, out of all the things you have cooked and conjured up in our apartment kitchen, which dish do you think was the best dish you've made?
It's funny that you say that, because you're like arguably everything that she makes, but then I like eat it and I'm just like, oh, this is not so good. But I think the best, it's probably our mac and cheese.
The bread and mac and cheese.
Yeah, we made like fancy mac and cheese once with like 3 kinds of cheese. and like a bechamel
Pancetta.
sauce, and with pancetta, and then we topped it with breadcrumbs. It is like the recipe from Laura Vitale's kitchen, or Laura in the kitchen, and it's good. Especially
It
with
was
like the
really good.
breaded topping.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
like
it's
all
like hard, like
crunchy.
those are like it's really hard to go wrong with that recipe, because like you can just, it is like a go-to, but it's also very rich, so not too often.
Yeah.
But I would say also I really enjoyed making spring rolls with you, because
Oh,
that pork is really
spring roll.
good. Yeah.
You know. Okay,
Or I
your
think
turn.
they're technically summer rolls, huh? They're called summer rolls. Because spring rolls are like the crunchy ones. I don't know.
I
Okay,
think
we're gonna
they're
move on.
yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Next question.
Yeah.
What is something about yourself that would surprise your high school self? Like, I guess in a way it's asking like
Yeah.
in what ways have you changed that like would surprise like your younger self?
I think a lot of things. I think I would say now I would say right now that I'm just really fine and content with not being in a relationship, or at least being in a romantic one. And I think in a way that would surprise my high school self, because my high school self, not that any part of that has gone away, but in high school, I really wanted to be, or aspired almost to be in a like romantic relationship. Mind you, because I love reading literature and I love reading romantic fictions and I love seeing the dynamics of a um like between the dynamic between two people, and how like the idea that every love story is the same but completely different individually. Like you have a collection of love stories, you know whatever, but each individual love story, and this applies to just life too, and the people that I've interacted with, each love story is completely different with completely different dynamics. And how, while this ending is the same of, oh, like the two got together, the way that they do that is very different. And I was always very invested in that, and like always wanted to have that in a way, because it just seemed like, especially in college too, like everyone around me, I just for some reason felt like was in a relationship or was like looking to be in one. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I felt like I was in a way missing out almost. But now being in the state that I'm at, and being in like the part of my life that like I'm currently at, and being content without being in a relationship, I think would really surprise my high school self. Um, because your girl's got her heart broken a couple times, to say the least.
Well,
And
go
I
you
think it's,
now.
yeah, go me now, I would say. So yeah, that would be something I think that would surprise my high school self a lot. Is the idea of just being content without being in a romantic relationship right now. Yeah. Do you want to answer this question too?
Oh, do I want to answer this question?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the thing that would surprise me the most is honestly that I don't read the news. Like I read like news from time to time if something's big is happening, but I really thought after high school that I would be somebody who would keep up with reading the news on a daily basis, knowing what's going on with like foreign countries, being super invested in elections. I thought I would be somebody who's super invested in knowing everything that's going on with like political campaigns and like what presidential candidates are saying to each other. But yeah, that has really changed. The stuff that I'm interested in has really changed since high school. Yeah, and I think a big part of it is that I realized that it can be super exhausting to keep up with that stuff all the time if you don't feel like you are getting something out of it. Because I think if you are getting something out of it and you feel like your knowledge is contributing in a way where you feel like it's not just making you angry, but it's actually propelling you to do something and make change in the world, then I think that's super important. And I think I just have learned that it's like cool to keep up with things, but if it's draining me and I don't feel like I know how to use that, like whatever negative energy I'm getting from reading the news to like better the world, then it's not necessarily a good use of my time. When I feel like what actually does inspire me is surrounding myself with people who do like really cool things and being in a community where like I'm inspired by people who do contribute to like the world in a positive way.
Yeah. So growing up, what was your dream job? And I have a follow-up question after you answer this.
Okay. Depends on what stage of my life. When I was like 7, I wanted to be Hannah Montana. Yeah.
I support that. I support that.
When I was, I want to say like 3rd grade to like, I actually don't know how long this last, I mean 3rd, 4th grade. 3rd, 4th grade, I wanted to be a teacher and like an elementary school teacher. Every grade level that I was at, I was like, oh, I want to teach this grade level. So when I was in 3rd grade, I was like, I want to teach 3rd grade.
3rd grade.
Kind of a thing. But every year it would keep going up and it'd be like, oh, you know what? 4th graders are cooler. You know? So, yeah, but when I was in 5th grade, actually, I wanted to be a manga artist because that's when I got really, well, I started watching anime when I was in 3rd grade and getting into art. And by the time I was in 5th grade, I was like very intent on becoming an artist. I don't want to like do that as a career anymore, but I still like do love like visual art, and I did like do visual art for a long time. So and then things like flip-flopped a lot. Like throughout middle school, I knew I wanted to do something in science. Throughout high school, I wanted to do stuff in like biology and then like political science and government. And then I wanted to do like education policy because I like knew that I wanted to like teach. Yeah, so it depends on what stage of my life.
So I'm guessing that like the main thing that I'm getting is dream job, you could safely say, was being a teacher.
Yeah, for a long time, yes. That's probably the thing that I've wanted to do the longest, and it's still something that I want to do in the future.
Yeah. So I guess you kind of tapped into the second part of my question is, because the second part is any part of that still true?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to like teach something artistic at a university level, and then perhaps like after doing that for a while, go like transition into just becoming like a school, like a public school teacher. Because I think it's just like those are definitely different experiences, because like I think like teaching something at a university level is a lot more about like the content focus. Although it does like both of them have elements where you're working with people, and that's super important. But I think with like people who are younger, like there's an especially important component, which is like really just caring about your students. Right. I've been really like lucky to have been impacted by a lot of teachers in my life, and have really like gotten the sense that like they cared about me, and that's really like mattered to me. So I feel like that's such an important part of being a teacher. And especially with all the coronavirus stuff happening now, people are like parents are all like, what am I gonna do? Like if my kids are home, they can't like interact with people. How are they going to like continue schooling and stuff? And being surrounded by a lot of people who work in tech and think that education can be like, specifically like teachers can be replaced by like virtual stuff. So like, I don't know, like online lectures, they're just like, it's not the same as having like a personal connection with like a teacher.
Yeah, I'd agree with that a lot. I mean, especially when educators right now are, I mean, I saw this post on Facebook where it was like, well, teachers are really at the front lines of this in terms of like on the education side, because they have been literally asked in like a day or two or less to convert everything that they've had in their lesson plans that they've, you know, been working on for like, you know, a year prior to like the school year starting, and converting all of that into like online teaching and hoping that this would work out, and still being able to provide education for people despite like this entire global pandemic is something extremely admirable, honestly. To be able to do that in like 2 days time is crazy. And yeah, I just saw that and I was like,
and especially if you're teaching a subject that honestly doesn't make sense not to teach in person. Because like it's different teaching the sciences, which Like, I could see digital content being super useful for that, especially like because Crash Course and in like math, you can definitely, like Khan Academy is such a great resource. But it's like different if you're teaching like the performing arts, which is like what I want to do. So there's like that.
Because
And then
you
there's
need
also
to
just,
be in person for something like that.
yeah, exactly. And also just like it's interesting to reflect on what kind of work can be made virtual and what kind of work can't, because I know like my parents do most of their work like on the computer anyway, and so the transition to like working at home has not been like a huge,
too difficult.
Yeah, it's honestly been not that different for them. But it's definitely like I think there's an argument to be made there that like the work that you have to do in person is arguably like the most important type of work.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Well, it depends on what standards you're using, I guess. Like,
Right,
it's like such a big like thing to say, like, but I think there's an argument to be made.
Well, at least like coming from like the literature side, like arguably you could do it online, but like you were saying, there's a difference between like doing things online and having like a personal connection with people in doing that, especially with like your theater classes and performing arts classes to like chorus, right? Like we haven't literally gotten anything back from that, because how are you supposed to do university chorus when there's like what 60, 70, 80 people
and no concerts,
which we've been working this entire semester like leading up to that, right? Which is really difficult to say. But yeah, you're right. I think there is an argument to be made about that. I just saying I agree given that like what my schedule looks like. This is a lighter question. If money weren't an issue, and assuming we are in a post-global pandemic world, where is the first place you would want to travel to and why?
Okay, if money isn't an issue, New York. I've already like been there once, only for a few days, but like it has such energy. That's just like the first place, just because I feel like I would love to explore that more. A few semesters ago, I took a class that was about the history of Broadway, both Broadway, the physical place, and Broadway, like theater.
Yeah.
And I would just love to go back and like see the places that were like, that I was reading about, you know? I think that'd be so cool. But New York is very expensive.
Yeah, that is very
So
true.
that's why I would think like, okay, if cost doesn't matter. But then like I think another place I would totally love to visit, just because I really like historical sites, is Washington, D.C., and I haven't been there.
You haven't been to D.C.?
No.
D.C. is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very historical. I feel like you'd really enjoy it.
My next question. What question would you most like to know the answer to?
This can go very funny or very deep very quick.
Yeah.
Shoot, this is a hard question. Because I can't think of a question. There's so many. That's why I'm just like, I think in a way, I actually was thinking about this, but it kind of ties into what we were talking about like literally 30 seconds ago. Will there ever be a time where human contact will slowly or just completely cease to exist and society would still function on its own and still be fine? I
can tell you the answer to that is no. Just from like a social psychology perspective.
Yeah, but as in like I would just be very curious as to see what the heck it would look like if like human contact would just cease to exist and we'd solely just be relying on technology in a way, and what that would look like and how. Yeah, I would just want to see what that would look like, and if that would be the case, like what the heck, that'd be really weird. I don't know.
Interesting sci-fi world.
Yeah, very interesting sci-fi. I took a sci-fi class, a literature sci-fi class, and so all these kinds of questions, like in societies and worlds and weird things, just come.
Here, everyone is robots.
Oh my gosh! Or you go crazy because of one.
Yeah. I would be curious. I don't think that that human contact will ever like cease to exist, but I would be curious to see the extent to which technology changes the way that we have I mean, I guess we've already seen like the ways that it has like changed things with like texting and like phone calls or whatever. But yeah, I would.
Right.
It's just interesting because like now we think of it as a way of like we think of technology as like, oh, it's what's keeping people from human contact, which is like interesting because if you think about it, it began as like the complete opposite of like how do we bring more people together is like through long distances.
Right.
You have your phone, you can like reach people at any time of the day, but like what is the impact of like settling for that as opposed to like
through social media as well, I'd add
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
And I think that's definitely an important question because I personally know that I'm like super impacted by that. Just on a personal level, I like notice myself when I spend time trying to communicate via like virtual means as opposed to like being with people in person. I think that's also a big part of why I'm so like, yes, theater is because I think like being with people in person is so important. Sharing and having human connection.
Yeah.
Also why I study psychology.
Whoa.
Wow. We just love people.
Wow. People.
The theme of today. Noreen and I love people.
But also
we hate people.
I am an introvert, but we also hate people.
Yeah.
So sometimes
so
if I'm at like a party for a good 10 seconds, I'd want to leave.
Yeah. Who is someone famous who changed your life?
Someone famous who's changed my life.
Yes.
Shawn Mendes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Of course.
I mean, okay, let me just give some background. So I have been a huge fan of Shawn Mendes. Not like in the most recent time at some people, but I have been a huge fan of him since like YouTube almost, like when he did the you know that song by Small Big World, Christina Aguilera, the feeling so small, da, 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 da.
Maybe I should know that song, but I don't.
Yeah, that one. He did a cover of that on YouTube, and then shortly later released Life of the Party, and that's like that like interim, just that like time, that period of chunk of time, like that was when I started becoming a really big fan of Shawn Mendes, because his voice is just like phenomenally beautiful, and as someone who was really shy at the time, and just was not, I was just super anxious and super nervous to be around people, but also finding like my ability to be able to sing as well, like that's a very out there kind of action to be doing, I guess, as someone who was very like nervous around people. I really liked and admired just first of all his vocal ability and how it has grown. Oh my gosh, how it has grown. But I really admired just how much he really loves and respects his fans. I really love the way that he just writes, and his lyrics, beautiful. And I fell in love with his music ability first because this was like before he went through puberty. So he had this high like range. It was fun, wonderful time. But then like he glowed up, and those are some brownie points. Like the physical attractiveness, woo, okay, like whoa. Those are brownie points. But really I like admire his vocal ability, and I got to see him in concert. He was my first concert I ever got to see. Like my first concert ever was a Shawn Mendes concert, and I think if anything that was like the best like night of my life, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually seeing somebody that I like have admired for so long and respect so much, especially how he's just navigated the music industry, and also has inspired me to just continue to be able to sing a lot more, and be confident in that, because he's always inspiring his fans to like do what you love and like, you know, all that stuff. And so in short, Shawn Mendes. I love Shawn Mendes.
I think that's cool though, that he like inspires you to be more comfortable singing, because that is definitely like, it's hard.
Yeah,
There's something about singing that is so like personal in a way that I've noticed makes it different from acting. And I feel like it is so like different in a way that it makes it easier for people to judge singing and singing ability, and it also is just like way more nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I think that's also what makes it super admirable, is how like vulnerable it is.
Yeah, I agree. Vulnerability. Yay. We love that.
Yep.
My last question is, when was the last time you happy cried? As in, you cried because you were so happy about something.
I was staring at like the sky and all the stars and stuff, and thinking about how it was like I was staring at the universe. Like, you know, like how it's like super intimate when you like look at someone in the eye, like eye contact. I was like thinking like I'm making eye contact with the universe.
Whoa.
And like, given how crazy everything's been recently with like the whole like coronavirus and things shifting and people are afraid.
Yeah.
And me just really missing people in my life. And then like looking at the sky, and there's so many stars that night, and it was a clear night. And I just felt like so like small. But like a part of the world. And so that was the last, I don't know if I would call that happy, but it was very like, it was like a very complicated, but like I felt a lot more peaceful after. So it was very cathartic.
Yeah.
Which I think like any sort of crying ideally is.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, my last question.
Okay.
What is the most well-meaning but bad advice you've ever received?
Well-meaning but bad advice I've received. This is pertaining to, I remember this. I was telling somebody about like past crushes, to say the least. And just how, I guess the complication between that and me being an empath and feeling it a little too hard, feeling everything a little too hard, which is another thing. And somebody told me, oh, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, someone's gonna come around eventually. You just need to like wait for the right person. And I think in that context, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm also like, I think it was bad advice at the time too, because it just perpetuated another cycle of like, okay, but then when, right? And then just me going into this spiral of, do I really need to just be waiting around? Like, at the end of the day, I was just like, do I really need to be just waiting around for someone if I can just take care of myself first? So it wasn't like bad advice, but it was bad in the sense of like getting me into a spiral of just completely overthinking, like, and going into a potential existential crisis about like, not only do I don't know what I want to do in the future, I just don't even have anybody, and I'm just like, So it was bad in that sense. I wouldn't say that was like bad advice, but it was bad enough that I went into a spiral of, I don't know what I want to do in the future. I don't even have like a relationship that I'm in. Like, I just like literally don't know what I'm doing, and I'm almost graduating, and I'm just so
I think that's interesting, because how do you take that as advice? Like, how does that change your action? Yeah, like, no, but also I think there's so many ways you can take that the wrong way, because like also just the idea that there is like a person who is like right for you in like, I don't know, people don't exist to be in relationships with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and it's not like any particular person is necessarily like right or wrong for you, like it like as in like you could say that like they're like one thing or the other. Like, people are complicated, and you can like get along with people in certain ways and not in other ways.
Right, that makes sense.
Cool, that was all of our questions.
Whoa.
So I guess it's time to wrap up. What have we learned today, Noreen? We have learned that we love people. We also hate people.
We also hate people.
We don't like how technology is separating people.
No,
but also, but it's also connecting people at a time like this. Otherwise, we would not be having a podcast together.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo! Woo! We learned that Noreen is Shazam like 2/3 of the time.
2/3 of the time. And a really big Shawn Mendes fan, so haha. Also, we've learned that Alice loves to act and sing and can't choose between one or the other.
It's true. They're both important in different ways.
Yeah.
And they're also connected. I would love to do both, so.
Yeah. And also big sad at the university chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got to get to know each other more. That's cool.
Yeah. Tune in next time and we'll tackle some other big topics.
Like vulnerability.
Like love, trust, vulnerability, and the meaning of life.
Wow. We love that. Okay.
Bye. Hope you enjoyed this time.
Bye.